This is the Remote Work Life Coaches Corner with Alex Wilson Campbell. Tune in for another guided career reflection question to help you come unstuck and figure out your next steps so you can finally begin to work toward your career goals.
Another important question to include in your list when you're doing your reflection is, what are my options, or where do my options lie? So this is good because you don't necessarily need to really provide solutions in any of these particular questions. It's all about brainstorming, writing down as many things, as many answers as you possibly can off the top of your head without really thinking too much about it. Once you've got some of those answers written down to whichever question I've given you in this series, you can then, if you so wish, begin to speak to somebody who can help you to resolve what you've written down, help you to really clarify what it is you've written down. A coach, for example, I'm a coach myself, and this is essentially what I do on a day-to-day basis, is really help people through questions and dialogue, conversations, to understand where they're up to. And as I said, one such question, or a really valuable question to ask, is, what are my options, or something to that effect. And this particular question can relate to so many different things. It's a very general question, as you can understand and hear. It could be a question that you ask yourself if you aren't sure what to do with your career development, which areas, which avenues, which roads do you want to go down? So what are your options? And then you can just start to list as many things as you could possibly think about that relate to not just the skills that you currently have, but it could also relate to things that you want to do, that you want to build on, or at least upskill with. This particular question could also relate, in terms of the options question, could also relate to your situation. I don't know, you may be a manager of a team who you feel are perhaps lacking motivation, and by asking yourself the question, what are my options? You're basically asking yourself, what are my options to help to motivate my team? So, like I said, this particular question, and in fact, most of these questions that I'm asking you, they don't necessarily just have to relate to your career. They can relate to literally any scenario. It can relate to, helping to build your team, helping to build yourself as an individual, even if you are happy in the role that you're doing. You could be asking yourself, you could be happy doing your role in a management capacity, and you might be wanting to get a promotion, for example. And then you can ask yourself, what are my options? And then again, start to list out what your options are. For me, I ask myself this question, what are my options? I ask myself that particular question when, when I'm changing jobs, or if I'm looking to move to my next role, whether that be as an employed member of staff or on an entrepreneurial level. What are my options? What can I do? What are the options that are available to me? And I think it's always best, as I mentioned before, to create a nice long list of different things, and then as you go along over time, you can begin to eliminate the things that are not viable options once you begin to look into them a bit more deeply. Or you can eliminate things that you're not necessarily interested in or not accessible to you, for example, for whatever reason. So, and I think that it's always a good idea to get a second opinion. So that, as I said, it can be via a coach, or it could be via somebody who you really trust, a trusted colleague or a trusted friend, something like that. So, think about that question. What are my options, or what options do I have? Once again, as I keep saying, make sure that you write those things down in your notebook or in your journal, so that you can eventually, you're going to have a nice little, I suppose, database of information that you can use in whichever capacity you want.
That's it for today's episode of the Remote Work Life podcast. Click the link in the show notes below to access a free list of 100 remote businesses that hire regularly. And if you're feeling stuck or uncertain on issues of career or personal development, head on over to www.remoteworklife.io, where you can watch exclusive on-demand video featuring real-world remote work leaders and future of work experts on key remote work topics, including how to get clarity on your career direction, how to thrive while working remotely, how to network effectively and stay connected, and how to tend to your personal and career development needs. Go to remoteworklife.io now, and remember to connect with me, your host, Alex Wilson Campbell, on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook.